I seriously did not expect to find this guy in the wild at all. But here we are now, and I'm pretty happy for the fact. Am I happy with the figure itself though? I mean, I also saw Agent Knight and Party Wallop in the store I found this in, so did I make the right decision by picking him up instead of those? Well, greetings people of YouTube, I'm Screaming Star, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition Voyager Class War for Cybertron Ratchet. I'm pretty sure this guy is supposed to be in the final wave for Studio Series, but here I am just finding him while most of the Wave 3 guys are nowhere to be seen. Hasbro's distribution is so weird. I'm glad to say though, this is my first ever figure of the character Ratchet. You know, the Autobot medic introduced in Generation 1 and was for some reason associated with having a grumpy personality ever since Transformers Animated. Of course, this particular design is from the video game Transformers War for Cybertron, wherein he was a playable character. I have been enjoying a lot of the Gamer Edition offerings so far. A lot, not all. And as far as this guy goes, pardon the profanity, but f me, this guy is a banger. A lot of you didn't know this, but the Voyager size class is actually my favorite. Yet a lot of Voyagers that we got this year don't really gel with me as much as I'd like. Either they're compromised in some way, or are fairly solid, but with nothing special to give them that oomph for me. This guy though, drove his way right into my heart straight away. Please get me an ambulance, I'm gonna die from peak. Oh wait. Now to start off this peak train, let's take a look at his accessories. As per usual with Gamer Edition figures, you get one melee weapon and one long-ranged weapon. Actually, scratch that, cause this Energon Repair Ray ain't really a weapon. As the name implies, it's actually used to help wounded Autobots in the battlefield, so in the case that he's fighting Starscream, he won't be able to attack him unless Starscream is close to the ground. Well, unless you decide to utilize the interchangeable weapons gimmick, and give him this Neutron Assault Rifle that came with Barricade the Bastard. Ratchet actually used his weapon in the game, so this display kinda works well. The connection is loose as hell though. Relatable. But if we bring back Starscream, detach his null ray and plug it into Ratchet's arm. There is even a dedicated groove here for the null ray to slip right into. Pretty clever. Far from the most clever thing about this figure though, cause if you flip down the backpack, you can store his forearm right in there. Absolutely genius! No longer do we have to store this hunk of clunk outside of the backpacks. This figure swoops in with his great engineering, and trust me, this gift will keep on giving. He can also hold the repair ray with his hands, by the way, and this looks okay. What looks better in his hands though is definitely this axe. Pop this off, slide that in, and pop it back in. Ooh, beautiful. The axe is well sculpted with some red paint on the blades. The handle looks disgusting though. This issue will come back in a bit when we look at the figure itself. But for now, you can store all the weapons on his back. Not as clever as the arm storage, but it's still appreciated. Now, I did say a few seconds ago, literally, that the robot mode does have one glaring issue. Well, that would be his plastic choice. My word, does this guy look like he's made of dried slime sometimes. It depends on the lighting. Sometimes he looks disgusting, but most of the time, the plastic looks passable. I ain't gonna deny that this could easily be a deal breaker for most people. At least if you judge it from photos that circulate online. But when you get this thing in hand, the plastic color won't look as heinous as you've been led to believe. Not to mention, this figure does so much right that I find it hard for myself to get angry over this now insignificant gripe. The sculpt work looks great, and what amount of paint we got is applied very cleanly. This is a great recreation of his in-game model. Color-wise, he's not the most accurate, again probably due to this plastic color resembling oh wait, they're releasing an ironhide repaint of this guy next year. Problem solved. As always, these Gamer Edition figures absolutely nail the head sculpts, Ratchet being no exception. The rest of the body may be a bit too thin compared to the game, but that just makes him look more sleek to me. And if you want the extra thickness, look no further than his back. Yeah, this is a sizable backpack, but due to the fact that this functions like an actual backpack, and the insanely smooth engineering, I find this to be a non-issue. I checked the in-game model too, and this isn't too far off from how he looked. Even got the Autobot logo there, lovely touch. This figure feels lovely too. Every joint feels solid, he's not gonna fall over in any pose, even with the backpack. I guess if I have to reach for another complaint, it would be that these wrist panels can get intrusive, but really, it's not that bad, and overall, this robot mode is really good so far. And believe it or not, he only gets better from here. Though we are about to hit a minor bump with his posability. Articulation on this guy is really not bad, but there are some annoying parts here. Head is on a ball joint, can rotate side to side, and can look up that far. Can't look down at all though. One part of which I've already seen people get angry over would be the fact that the shoulder pads and the shoulders are separate parts. Really, it's not that bad. The shoulder pads are on a hinge joint and a ball joint here, so you can just move it forward and move the shoulders accordingly. Yeah, it does look a bit weird, but you can situate that however you like. And really, in motion, it's not as bad as some people thought it'd be. For the shoulders themselves, they can rotate 360 and move out that far. Bicep swivel, single joint at the elbow, wrist swivels, surprisingly. Energon Repair also has a rotation on this barrel, claw, yeah, whatever this is, it has a swivel. Waist swivel, detach the backpack, and you get a fake ab crunch that goes in pretty deep. And of course, you can position the backpack however you like. See, that looks pretty cool. Can kick forward that far, pretty tight, back that far. He can do the splits, knee swivels, knee bend that doesn't go quite 90 degrees. And finally, the ankles, which are slanting downward a little bit. This is definitely quite annoying and can get cumbersome when it comes to posing. Well, at least you get an ankle pivot that goes in really deep. And a surprising toe articulation. That's really nice. Okay, I just realized I made a little mistake here. I've left this panel blank all this time when it should have shown the Autobot logo. It's actually one of my favorite aspects of this figure's engineering, and I completely left it, so that's how it's supposed to look. Sorry I can't just reshoot the entire review just because of this. But hey, at least you'll see this Autobot logo when we come around to the Strike a Pose segment. That was a surprisingly good robot mode. I already knew I was gonna like it to some degree, but man did it still surprise me in ways I did not expect. Size-wise, he's an average Gamer Edition Voyager. Not too much to say there. We'll see more of that in these size comparisons. Here's Ratchet next to Gamer Edition Barricade. Comparing him to a regular 6-inch scale figure, we have the Marvel Legends Mr. Knight. And finally, Gamer Edition Starscream. I'm currently lending my other Gamer Edition figures to a friend, so I'm sorry I can't compare him to those guys right now. Now that the robot mode is all covered, are you ready for even more surprises? That's right. How'd you think this proportional robot mode is gonna turn into a burger, huh? No other way than #ingenuity. I will walk you through the transformation this time because I really want to tell you all why it's so good. This transformation is going to involve some nice inside-out flips, and oh boy is it so fun. First thing I like to do is to detach the backpack so it provides more clearance. Flip down these side pieces, might as well, why the hell not. Detach the torso, sink the head into the neck, orient the shoulder pads like this. See, that's why they are separate in robot mode, the shoulders and the shoulder pads, because they are separate in the engineering. Same goes for the other side. You want to configure the torso in a way where this whole area will cup this skeleton thingy. Then you want to bring the arm down on this inner hinge joint, detach this hinge joint, orient the arms so that this tab will plug into this port here. Rotate on what was previously the bicep and utilize that hinge joint to its fullest degree. Plug the forearms into those tabs there so that they are more secure. And here's one of my favorite parts that I've already mentioned, but to showcase it again, there's this Autobot logo, which to make it disappear in alt mode, you just flip down this whole rotating piece. How cool is that on a Voyager? They really went the extra mile there. That was not really necessary, but I'm really glad that they did it. Now you want to bring down the roof piece into the torso. These tabs are going to go into these slots. Front half done, now we move on to the legs. Rotate the waist 360, rotate both of the knees 360, open up the shin guards, and everything just gets revealed in a whole bunch of flips. Look at that. Make sure this part's tabbed in, extend this panel all the way until it snaps in, and there you go, a whole side of the car made out of the legs. That is super impressive. Also, don't forget to tab the ankles in if you haven't already. Then you want to bend both of these hinge joints and combine the knees together along with these two tabs here. Bring these panels up to make it easier. Bring the legs down just a bit. And here comes one of the most satisfying yet frustrating part. Bend this hinge all the way in until it matches perfectly with the, Then you want to do the same thing on the other side. Tab in the back of the van, tab in the roof part, flip up this side part, which was previously the foot. Bring the roof down and tab it in. And finally bring the shin pads up and tap these in. Voila, that was a brilliant transformation. Brilliant paneling engineering that results in a beautiful alt mode. And let's talk about that alt mode right now. My word, what a blast of a transformation. Some insanely neat folds and flips resulting in one heavenly vehicle mode. Look at it, it's a burger on wheels. How is it not peak? I have no idea how they managed to twist and mangle a slender robot into this spherical thing. The arms blend in seamlessly, the legs are folded in oh so tidily. And underkibble? What underkibble? The amount of paint that's revealed in this mode does conceal the flawed plastic color really well too. Not content with aesthetic prowess, this figure rolls amazingly well due to all four wheels being pinned. Damn, do I love you hashtag designers sometimes. Pretty nice touch here that the sides of the wheels have been given red accents to mimic the energon lines in the game. Lovely. The only thing I don't like about this alt mode is the weapon storage. Even then, it's not something new when it comes to vehicle mode. And it's never really been something that bothered me anyway, personally. Shit, man, this figure is so good, I'm gonna need an ambulance. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Ratchet, can you take me with you? Alright, thanks. Now let's roll to the size comparisons. Here he is next to Barricade, Mr. Knight, and finally, Starscream. And there goes my review for the Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition Voyager Class War for Cybertron Ratchet. Gotta say, I'm glad I went to this figure blind without watching any reviews first, because this thing surprised me more than I could ever imagine. Fantastic engineering combined with immense fun factor due to his aesthetic and solidity makes for a fantastic Transformers figure. He is by far my favorite Voyager class figure of this year so far, and I absolutely recommend him to anyone who appreciates good engineering, and especially so to those who are a fan of the Cybertron games. The only big issue, again, is the plastic color, but if that really bothers you, I suggest you wait for the Ironhide version that's coming next year. You can bet your ass I'm gonna be picking them up too. With all that being said, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching this video. What did you think of it? If you enjoyed it, leave a like, got something to say, leave a comment, and if you like the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Farewell folks, I'll hopefully see you all next time.